How's everybody doing? Okay, we are going to now do the water signs. We're going to do the water signs, and today we are going to start with the sign of Cancer. Now, we just finished the water signs. Now, the earth signs. And now we are going to do the water signs. They're just like earth. You have mutable earth, you have fixed earth, and you have cardinal earth. So with the water signs, you have cardinal water, fixed water, and mutable water. Okay? The cardinal water is the kind of water that will actively form things, create things. Like imagine a big wave crashing against the derricks or against the banks of any seaport. Or not even that. We can say that there's some waters that come in and they break rocks, even granite, and shape it and mold it. Or what about when a ship out into the sea encounters a rogue wave? There have been rogue waves that will cut through a steel ship in half. Yeah. And then you have the kind of water, like what happened in the Indian Ocean, that will rise up like tsunami. That water is going to kill you, just like that rogue wave can kill you or destroy. Can you imagine metal? Metal. I mean, even something as strong as titanium. A rogue wave can split that in half. Break it up. That kind of active water that can come in and destroy people through a tsunami and kill thousands of people. Like it happens, every year. The last one, I forgot the name of the one in the Indian Ocean that like thousands died. That was like the worst after an earthquake occurred. That kind of water is dangerous. So this is what we call cardinal water. Fixed water is water that doesn't move, like a pond, a lake, an aquifer. And still waters run deep. This water doesn't change, doesn't move, doesn't circulate. It just stays there. And then you have mutable water, which is the water that you can find anywhere and everywhere, even in the air, even in the atmosphere, even the clouds. So this is what now we are going to describe the psychological modality of the water signs, beginning with Cancer. Cancer is cardinal water, and it is active. A lot of people believe that Cancers all they do is sit around and cry all the time. That anything sets them off. Here we go, here's the waterworks, and it could be anything. And a lot of people judge these women, a few men, but the women in particular, by being unstable, by being irrational, by being somewhat kind of like histrionic. But that's not true. Honestly, the Cancer woman's changing emotions, and it can change from 1 minute to 1 second to 1 hour to an entire week or month. And you don't know what will trigger those emotions. You won't know, if you have a Cancer person, you won't see that Cancer person, you won't see him or her coming. Because you can say something and it'd be nice and it'd be complimentary. Well, everyone around you understood what you meant. But Miss Cancer, She could take it all wrong and shit. Now she gets angry, she gets sad, she starts to cry, maybe not in front of you initially, but then you are going to start to see the complexity of emotions that just one statement might have caused this girl to go into another direction emotionally. But that is not even a liability. It comes with the package. You have to understand that Miss Cancer Girl is ruled by the moon. And the moon has 28 different tinctures before it goes into a full moon or a new moon. 28 different tinctures. And then on top of that, it has 4 major phases. So now you add 28 plus 4, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's 32 phases. That's 32 moods. That's 32 personalities. And that's 32 ways in which she can mold and manipulate behavior in herself and in others. This is a very complex girl. And because of that kind of complexity, you have what's called the feminine mystique. It is this beauty of femininity that arouses out of the Cancer woman. She is mystifying and she's mystical. And she is someone that will come into your life right in time when you need her. But she will also, very much like Lady Chatterley of the 60s and 70s, come into your life and just like the tides recede, leave right out of your life just as fluently as she came in. But not without causing some changes. That's what makes her Cardinal Water. Active and a game changer and ambitious. The Cancer woman is ambitious. Oh my God. The opposite sign is Capricorn, right? The Earth Queen. And Miss Capricorn is going to get what she wants. And her biggest weapon, which is where Miss Cancer draws from, is patience. Like Miss Capricorn, the Cancer woman has diabolical patience. Just like the waters eventually erode structures or erode rocks, causing all kinds of rock formations done by that salt water hitting it for hundreds and hundreds of years, you don't think it's going to alter or change the topography of that land? Of course it will. And it can take centuries for that to occur. Well, that's how deep her patience goes. Have you ever had your fingers get caught in one of them crabs' claws? It'll break your finger. And if it doesn't break your finger, you will catch such an infection that you might well lose the finger. And even if they smash that crab right on its head, that claw will not come out. It'll stay stuck. They'll have to pry it open. Cancer is a lot tougher than she appears. Like Miss Pisces. You know, the Alice in Wonderland, Lost, or Little Red Riding Hood, obliviously riding down the forest, not knowing that the big bad wolf is after her. That will never happen to Miss Cancer. She'll pretend to be like a damsel like Miss Pisces and catch that wolf and take the meat for food and take the fur to do clothing or to sell it in the market. Because she a businesswoman. What? You'll be eating wolf from here to the next year and wearing the clothes and even taking the clothes and making it as fashion. Because Cancer is crafty. She's crafty. And that kind of mind, there's something to be said about that. You know, this woman is no joke. She's ruled by the moon. That's good coffee. She's ruled by the moon. And, a lot of people don't understand their connection to the moon. We have had an intimate relationship with our moon far back than many anthropologists and many archaeologists are now beginning to understand. This is a part of our evolution. It's deep. It's deep. Cancer has the genetic memory of humanity, of this earth, the Big Bang itself and beyond, and what's coming. Without that moon, we wouldn't be the fully functioning human beings that we are today. So we owe a lot to our development to the moon. Well, the same thing can be said of Miss Cancer Girl. You may think that she is just sitting in the house doing nothing, sitting in the house just being and existing and crying her eyes out whenever the mood gets her. But she is doing so much more in that environment where she's happened to find herself in. She cleans people emotionally. And you don't even have to ask. She's like a barometer. But if you have something that's bothering you, that's hurting you, and you get close to a Miss Cancer woman, girl, she will understand and completely feel what you're feeling and know the reason why it's there. Now, what's her solution? Give you nurturing love. Give you attention. The Miss Cancer is a type of woman that will fill in the hole where there's an emptiness in you, in your life. That's what makes her cardinal. She's not going to be like Miss Pisces and watch you be in pain. And instead of going in there to help you process that pain psychologically, she'll cry and mourn with you in the hopes of maybe taking some of that sadness and throwing it out into the sea, which is the dominion of Pisces. And that's actually very good because it's emotional healing, cleansing, just like Miss Cancer. The difference is that Miss Pisces will have to be moved through her own motivations in doing so, in coming to your rescue emotionally. Miss Cancer doesn't need motivation. Doesn't need to do a tick for tat kind of thing. She'll just go in, fix it, and then we can ask questions towards payments later. And you'd want to honor this woman because you might be someone who doesn't understand what's going on with you. She will be the one that will know exactly what's going on with you. She will be the one that will approach you, and she will be the one that will attempt to try to help you and heal you from within. That's quite a tall order. But that's the loving nature of Miss Cancer that she's willing to do, to be able to help you and transform you and help you evolve. Okay. The moon has 4 phases, like I said, and 28 sub-moon phases, which we call tinctures. And like I said, each one represents a different modality of being and behavior. And then you have that brooding silence to kind of cloak it all in. Okay. In the beginning of the relationship, if you ever find yourself becoming involved with a Cancer girl, you have to understand off the bat what you're getting into. She comes actually in 2 types. And then from one type, you got 14 subtypes. And then from the other type, you got another 14 subtypes. Together, it makes the 28 moon phases. And one half creates a circle, a lunation. So you have a whole body of ego and personality, but it can be broken down into 28 other moon phases or tinctures. So you have to then ask yourself, what kind of Cancer girl do I got? I don't know what I was coughing. Which one do you got? The Maiden is one, and what we call the Looney Tunes is the other. And when you put the Maiden and the Looney Tune together, you have a Jekyll and Hyde kind of personality that's motivated and triggered by 28 different other sub-strings to that wholeness of personality. It's just like the moon phases that we observe in the sky. So you got to ask yourself, which one of these two, and then if you have the Maiden, and she has her own 14 subtypes, and hasn't unionized with the Looney Tune, then you have a really good girl. They're both good girls, but you have to understand, one side of the moon we see as light. Remember, we don't see the other side of the moon, right?